Here, while you guys think, I'm going to pass out the practice test. Or while you guys sit there,
the night. It's a Wednesday.
Everybody got a practice test?
Yes.
All right, because you know the test again is on next Wednesday, so next Tuesday will be review day. I'll have the answer key for the practice test. So, yes.
I have a question.
Yep.
On section 3, chapter 3.3.
3-3?
Yeah. Section 3.3, number 36.
Yeah, if all they want from you is the x and y intercept, right? Some of you guys are wasting time on these problems solving for y. That's silly. If you solve for y, you get the y-intercept, right? Because it'll be b, will be the y-intercept. But you still got to do work to get the x-intercept. So you did more work than you had to get the y, and then you still got to do more work to get the x. That's crazy. What do you always do if you want the y-intercept? You make
X0.
x0, right? So if I want the y-intercept, I'll set this one up for you. You make x equal to 0 for the y-intercept.
Correct.
So it'll be 0 over 5 minus y over 4 equals 1. What's 0 divided by 5?
0.
So you get negative y over 4 equals 1. Well, y. And then you just multiply by negative 4, and you'll get the y-intercept. Do you see what I'm saying?
Multiply and divide.
Right now, what's happening? It's being divided. So how do you solve equations? You do the opposite of what's happening.
Multiply.
Sure. But better yet, you multiply by negative 4, so that 4 will cancel, and then negative will cancel. So you get y equals negative 4. So what's that mean? What's the point? Yeah, I made x0. I made x0. So I already knew that was 0. I was just trying to figure out what the hell the other piece was, and now I know it's negative 4. So now do the same thing for x. Make y 0. Cool. Always. So don't waste time doing anything else except that. When they say find the x and y intercept, don't do anything. Just make x0, get the y intercept, make y0, get the x intercept. Don't try to rearrange the problem. It just wastes time. Okay. Sure. So I had, let's do one with different letters then. What you got, Jeff? I don't know, man. Yeah, let's see. Okay, hold on. Alright, I think this should work. Let's find out. Huh? I better be able to. It's my job. But I don't know yet. Let's find out if I did this right.
Is that negative 10?
No, sorry. That's smudge 10. Alright, so this is the first equation. This is the second equation. You gotta trust me on this. It makes sense to number them so you keep track.
Like B? first.
Yeah, I know that from the second equation, I know B is this. So in the first equation, anywhere I see B, I can replace it with.
2a
Yeah,
negative
so
4
I can rewrite the first equation as.
And then eliminate.
minus 3.
Oh, okay, well, let's finish this now.
3.
Because now I want to see if I did it right. So I'm going to
2a.
plug that in.
2a negative 4 equals
And then
6a plus 12.
Oh.
Negative 6a positive 12.
So you get negative 2a, subtract 12 equals negative 2, so a was 1.
Then we want
Good, that's what I meant it to be.
there.
And then b will be twice 1 minus 4. B is that cool? You guys see that? I know a is 1, so I can just plug it in. So then b is 2 minus 4?
Negative.
Negative 2. So the answer would be
1 negative
1.
beautiful, alphabetical order.
1.
1, negative 2. You don't have to write it like this, but I mean, as long as you circle your answers, you're okay. But you can always write it as a point.
Without circle, it's okay? Without circle, the answers?
It's okay.
I couldn't.
It's okay. Yeah. It's all on the quiz, you're fine. And the homework, dear God, make it
Yeah.
easy for me to find your answers. Doesn't all kind of make sense, right? Guy grade your paper, you probably want them to find your answers. But you meant elimination? Sure. It'll be a nice review. Let's see. Let's make an ugly one. Y'all know I'm capable of that. Let's see. Oh shit. Here we go. Alright, let's see if I did that right. By the way, how am I doing that? How am I making a problem that has an answer?
We found the y-intercept or x-intercept, then plug it in.
Oh,
We solve for y first.
We need
I like it. You guys are like, screw your question, Jeff. So I was asking, how did I make this? How did I make it? How do you think I made this problem up? Do you think I just know a lot of problems at work? No, I started with the answer. Right, so for example, if I said I want the answer to be 1, 2, and I write x plus 3y, all right, so what's got to go here? 1 plus 3 times 2, I got to put a 7 there if I want the answer to be 1, 2. So I like to show you kind of the problem in reverse. That's how I create problems. I start with the answer. So some of you guys are like, well, that's cheap. I'm the teacher.
Now we need.
No, I'm sorry. Now, hit me with how to solve this. I don't care about the y-intercept.
Yeah.
The y-intercept is not necessarily where they meet. So I don't want to find that. I want to find the point where they meet, right?
You can like smush them together by multiplying them to get both 20y.
All right, I like it. So let's unpack what you just said. If you want to kill the y's,
Yeah.
they won't currently die if you add them, right? So you're going to multiply one or both of them up until they match. So they'll cancel. So it's just like LCD. What's the LCD of 5 and 4?
20.
So then I'm going to multiply the first one by
4.
4.
Then second.
So I'm going to put a little 4 next to everybody so I don't forget. So what do I get? I get
28x minus 20 y equal 32. Yeah.
and then the second one I got to multiply by
5.
5. Because they're already opposite signs, right?
Yeah.
Why is that important?
Because you can cancel.
Because I want them to cancel. Right? Okay. So then multiply by 5,
Negative
5, 5, negative 15x.
20
plus 20y. Good. That's the whole reason we're doing this, is to make those cancel, right? Equals
45.
45. All right, let me stop there for a second. Does everybody see where all that came from that's up there currently? Yes, sir.
So because you have a negative y amount and then positive y amount, you were able to reverse or eliminate them.
Yeah, if this would have been positive, I would have multiplied this by a negative 4, for example, so that they will end up being opposite signs. If they're already opposite signs, I don't have to multiply by negative. I want them to stay opposite signs. So I multiplied by positives, right? If they weren't already opposite signs, I'd have to multiply one of them by a negative. So they'll end up,
One you wouldn't multiply by a negative.
of course not, because then I would pass myself by, right?
How do you do different things to one and not the other? And still come out with it.
Are you okay with the fact that I multiplied this by 4? Are you okay with that?
Okay, because of the process of elimination. All right.
No. Can I multiply this by 4? Yes. I can multiply both sides of this equation by 4. Can I multiply this equation by 5? Yes. I can multiply both sides of this equation by 5. Is there any reason why I have to do the same thing to both?
To cancel.
I have to do the same thing to both sides of an equation, but thank God I can do different things to both, or else I could never make these numbers match. That would suck. Well, for you guys, it'd be nice, because then we could just skip this section. But too bad for you, it works. So what are you getting here?
Yeah, 13.
13x.
0.
Equals
What is that?
3.
13.
X is
1.
1.
Then now
And how do you figure out what y is?
put it X in
Yeah, plug it into one of these two. I'm not going to use these because the numbers are bigger than they have to be. Go back to the originals, and either one, what do you want to do? First one, okay. So the first one, 7 times x, but x is 1. Minus 5y equals negative 8.
7.
Subtract 7. Negative 5y equals negative 15. Divide by negative 5. Y is 3. So you can stop there, that's fine. Or you can write it as
1, 3.
1, 3. That's the point where what would happen?
And intercept.
These two lines, if you graph them, they'll meet there. I like it.
It's easy.
Again, be careful.
No, till now it's easy.
Different things are easy for different people. So it's an LCD kind of idea. So you match up the coefficients. Make sure they're opposite signs. The whole reason you did that is so that when you add them together, it'll cancel. So the next thing you do is add them together. And then what's really awesome is after you do that, you only have one variable left. You've killed one of the variables. So then you just solve it, like always. Yes, sir?
Okay, so to find y, all you do is just plug.
Yeah, once I know x,
Okay.
I can plug it into either one of these.
Okay.
And why is it going to give me the same answer, either one I use? Because it's going to be the point where these lines meet, so it doesn't matter which one. In fact, that's a way to check your work. If I plug it in the other one, let's see, what if I would have plugged it, instead of plugging into 1, let's plug it into 2. That would be negative 3 times 1 plus 4y equals 9. Add 3, 4y equals 12. Divide by 4, I get y is 3. Again, right? It doesn't matter because it's supposed to be the point where both lines agree. So it shouldn't matter which one you plug x into. It's where they intersect, yeah. So actually, it's a way to check your work. If you plug it into both and you get different answers, something went wrong. Okay. How are we doing with that? How are we doing there? Be honest with me. We could do another one. I mean, we want to really drill down and see where we're having trouble. Yes.
36 on 3.2.
3.2. Okay. The one that says make a table of values.
Yeah, and I chose y to be negative 1, 0, 1, and 2.
No, you didn't. They told you.
That's what I
So if you did choose it, you got lucky. Because they tell you to use y equal negative 1, 0, 1, 2. Negative 1, 0, 1, 2. Alright, so how would I find this? Help me out, Nathan. Where do you have trouble with this?
The answer. Because negative 4x equals negative 10.
Alright. Let me catch up to you. So when you plug a negative 1 into y, you get negative 4x equals negative 6 minus 4. So negative 4x equals negative 10. I'm with you.
Okay.
And then, of course, what do? To get the x by itself, you have to divide by negative 4. So x equals what? Reduce this.
5 over
5
5.
over 2.
Alright, so that's what x is.
Yeah.
Good. Sounds great. What's wrong? Yeah, the answer can come out to be disgusting, right? It doesn't have to be nice. That's not really disgusting. Poor little 5 has. It's like,
So if you want to put the...
and they don't want you to graph the thing, so I almost don't care if the answers come out ugly because I don't have to graph. They didn't tell me to graph it. If I had to graph it and I got one of my answers was 7/51, I'm like, okay, well that's a problem. That's kind of gross.
The answer on the table should be fraction or this one, doesn't matter.
Doesn't really matter. Yeah.
Oh, and 25, right?
Where we at?
Y equals X, 45.
That one is it's always the really easy ones that at first they're like, what the hell?
So that's the slope of 1 with the y-intercept of 0?
Yeah, but this is before we knew about slope.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you got to, when you're doing your homework, if you're doing earlier homework, we've discussed more stuff in the class, but when you do the homework in a section, you better only do what you know at that section. So in this section, we are making tables of values. That's, like we did over there. So make a table of values. Give me an x value.
1.
1. Y is x, so what's y?
1.
2.
It says graph the equation, sir.
Totally. But we don't learn about slope until 2 sections later. So don't be using slope here, because we don't officially know slope here. In this section, we're doing tables of values.
Prior to slope-intercept form.
Yes. So if you look at section 3.4, the title is slope and rate of change. So we didn't learn about slope until 3.4.
Okay.
Now you can look back at this and say, okay, now I see that the slope is 1, the y-intercept is 0. Right? But you better apply the stuff that you knew in this section, you better apply that.
Okay.
Okay.
So can we do that?
Sure, okay. So how do you always, they don't give you values to use, so how, you just make your own, right? So give me a value of x, Nathan. Because how would you make a table of values for this? I think it's the equation that's troubling you. How would you make a table of values for this? How would you do it?
Solve for y?
No, well, it's already solved for y. How would you make a table of values?
I wall it in.
To give me an x value.
Y-intercept.
No. Give me a value for x. Give me a number to put in for x.
Okay, 1.
1. Okay, sweet. So when you put a 1 in, what do you get? Y equals 2 times 1 minus 1. So y is 1. And if you put a 2 in, 2 times 2 is 4 minus 1 is?
3.
Alright. That's what you always do when you want to make a table of values. If they don't give you values, you just come up with your own.
Okay, that's right.
So here, give me a value for x.
17.
17. Y is x. So what's y?
17.
Alright. Keep
So
going.
you just make the point on the graph, choose one, and then make it.
Choose a value for x or y, really in general. Well, normally we think of x as the input, right? So you give yourself an x value, and then you see what y becomes by using the rule, the equation they give. Same thing we just did over there. It's just the equation looks so tiny and is like, how the hell? Same way. Any x you pick, y is the same thing. Kick ass. Yes, sir.
On section 3.3, number 39.
Oh, this one. Help me out. If I had this, how would I find the x and y intercepts?
To solve for 1.
No, stop it.
Make x 0.
To find the y-intercept, I make x 0. Okay, how about if I made it this instead? How would I find the x and y-intercepts for that?
Same way.
Does it change anything?
No.
No. All right. How about if I made it this?
Same way.
Same thing.
Of course I do the same thing, right? I don't care what the coefficients and shit is in there. The process doesn't care. I keep saying that, right? The process does not care. So if I give you this, how do you find the x-intercept? Make y 0. So let y be 0. So you get ax plus b times 0 equals c. What's b times 0?
0.
So you get ax equals c. How do you get x by itself?
Divide.
All right, so you guys see the letters and you just, what? But you you know the process. You know to find the x-intercept, you make y 0. It doesn't matter worth anything what they put into the equation. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
I really want that to be understood. So that problem is stupid easy. I feel fine saying that now because you apply the process and then it's like one step. Right?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to make you feel bad because when you first look at this, it's like, what the hell am I supposed to do with this shit?
Yeah.
But the process gives you the answer. The answer is not going to be a number because I don't know anything. I don't know a damn thing. The answer is going to be in terms of the letters that are there. I like it.
So the answer is just x equals c over a.
Well, yeah, so C over A. So the x-intercept would be C over A, 0. One thing I don't like about this book is they represent x and y intercepts like just numbers, but I desperately, if the x-intercept is 2, that's 2, 0. That's the point 2, 0.
And you don't have to find y.
Yeah, I only want to do half the problem for you.
Yeah.
You do the other half.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Yes, sir.
So what's the total of homework that will be due on this next test?
So 4, 4 or 4, 5?
No, the 4, 5 is not in. So chapter 3 and chapter 4. You look at what the test covers, and then that's the homework you need to turn in. Yeah.
What?
Is there a section 4, 5? No.
I don't know. I just
No.
threw it out there.
I got you. 3, 4.
3 or 4.
Chapter 3 and chapter 4 homework is due next Wednesday. Yes, sir.
Is it possible we can go to a problem and see some information?
Okay. Do you have a specific one, or?
You had one of that.
Well, you know that one, I'm going to give you the answer key, right? So is there something specific about the problem on the test, on the practice test that troubles you, or?
Yeah, it seems really simple, but I just want to make sure I'm doing it right.
But we, all right. Do you understand the process? Do you, okay, so we just did one, didn't we? Let's see. All right, you ready? Let's do this again. So which variable is a little bit better, in this case a lot better, to eliminate first? The x is y. So the LCD is a little smaller, but a little more importantly, they're already opposite sides, right? So that's a big one, because if you bring a negative in, it's a really easy place to make a mistake. So it's nice when letters are already opposite sides. That's cool. So what would I multiply equation 1 by?
2.
6?
Yeah. Multiply 2.
Multiply by 2 to make it 6.
Yeah.
Alright. So multiply by 2. And you get
6x plus 4y equal 10. Now multiply.
Shondale. What am I going to multiply the second one by? 3. I like it. I suddenly had more than one Shondale. Negative 6x. So multiply this by 3, 3, 3. I get negative 6x. 21y. 15. And the whole reason I did that is so when I add them, they'll cancel. So I add them, of course, right? So those go away. Is that cool?
I got you.
And then you plug it back into either one to figure out what x is. So x is also 1. So I made it easy so I could do it in my head real quick. Yeah.
On the practice test, number 10, like what the inequality.
All right. So let's do that because all right, I love it. So your question. Let's get into the reviewing what we did last time. I love it. Don't forget Tuesday's review day also. But I want to talk more about what we just got into last time. What you got, John? simplify. So what's a really good first step here?
Little dude.